Welcome back. Bold, beautiful, and a breath of fresh air are synonymous with describing business owner Mathebe Molise and unique services she provides. Her beauty and wellness e-commerce platform, Beauty on TApp, initially started as a find a beauty service directory, but mushroomed into a successful online service. The first of its kind business, which supplies, the effective skincare solutions to black women, landed her on the Forbes Woman Africa's top 20 list of future wealth creators in 2018. Our producer, Thapelo Mowela, spoke to the innovator and entrepreneur about how she started a beauty business. And this is how the conversation went.
Mathebe Molise is a dynamic South African entrepreneur behind Beauty on TApp, a groundbreaking digital platform in the beauty industry. The company was founded in 2015 and is a one-stop shop for in-demand beauty products, skincare, healthcare, and makeup products.
I'm an accounting graduate, so I'm a CA by profession, but I'm just somebody who loves creativity and fell in love with beauty, and then established a business called Beauty on TApp. I'm somebody who's a fitness enthusiast, very chilled, laid back, and just somebody who's just trying to change the narrative in terms of the beauty industry.
The 35-year-old investment banker reveals how the rapid success of her beauty and wellness e-commerce business has seen her take a leap of faith into full-time entrepreneurship.
I think growing up, I was more on the creative side, and so when I did chartered accountancy, people were just like, how did you stumble into this? But I also have like a mathsy kind of brain as well, so I was good at accounting and maths at school, and my mom kind of encouraged me to become a CA just because there were very few black female CAs at the time. And so I spoke to my accounting teacher as well, and she said, why don't you do accounting at Wits? And so I did a Bachelor of Accounting Sciences, and I specialized in financial services during my articles, and I spent 5 months in Boston as well. But as I said, when I was younger, I loved creativity. I loved like making little clothes for my Barbies and doing hair and plaiting. And so I've also always had like this creative side of me that I've loved exploring, that I've carried with me. I even had like a baking business long ago. So I think on the creative side, I've been, much more heavily weighted towards that than the numbers side of things.
And at home, who would you say has entrepreneurial skills? I mean, you mentioned your mom right now. Who else had that influence in entrepreneurship for you?
So no one in the family is really entrepreneurial. Like my grandmother was a nurse. I suppose my aunt was also very into business as well. And so I come from a family with very strong women who are very empowering as well and inspiring. And so, I've always been very interested in empowering women as well. When I was just 12, I started a business also that I thought I would invest in small women-owned businesses. And so I just think I grew up around women who were very successful in, their careers as well. And that kind of inspired me to try shoot for the stars.
So when does the beauty bug beat you? I mean, at what stage did you decide that you want to get into this beauty industry?
So when we launched Beauty on TApp, it was more of a find a beauty service application. So it was more on the tech side of things and not necessarily on the beauty side. So it was just an application that was trying to make beauty more accessible to individuals, but also giving small beauty businesses like a shop front on a tech platform. And so it wasn't really beauty, but as I got into the business and started learning about beauty businesses and beauty products, I kind of like fell in love with the beauty industry and just like marketing beauty and brand positioning when it comes to beauty. And so I think I fell more in love with the business side of beauty than the actual beauty products, and that's what has really kept me going over the years and has really inspired me to just keep on building Beauty on TApp as well.
How much research and planning did you put into getting all the information? I mean, you come from a chartered accountant background and moving into a beauty industry. How much background and research did you do about this industry?
So when we started the application, I think at the time apps were still fairly new. It was in 2015, and just finding developers who could build an application for us at a really reasonable price was really difficult. And so just doing that market research to understand the pricing of applications, learning about platforms and so on was work that I had to do at a co-founder at the time. And so that was really difficult, especially coming from a banking environment or being somebody who was in banking. I had no insight into tech, what an app is supposed to cost. I mean, somebody could have said to me it's R1 million and I would have been like, oh my God, and so it was finding something reasonable and just building from then on. I mean, right now I know a lot about skincare, and I'm not even a BSc or chemistry, graduate, or have no real professional experience in it, but it's all been through learning, understanding ingredients, understanding brands, understanding what kind of brands sell, and so on. And so, every day is a learning experience. Every day I have to also build my expertise and knowledge in the industry. So I kind of apply my technical CA skills as well into the business and to learning about beauty. So my CA skills aren't all lost at all.
Launching the Beauty on Tap store at Mall of Africa also holds significance for the beauty space in South Africa. The industry is growing rapidly, with a significant portion of the market dominated by international brands.
So I didn't necessarily have one specific mentor, but I've had different mentors when it comes to different things. So we have our own brand pastry, and we have a formulator who helps with that, and we have formulators that helped us with the brand at the beginning. And so in terms of formulation and understanding what ingredients go together, I have somebody who's guiding me in that regard. And then with opening a store, I had somebody who was mentoring and guiding me with that as well. I've also been really lucky that I've been in incubation programs where I've been taught a lot about the beauty industry as well. And so I don't have one specific mentor that I lean on. I just have a lot of people that kind of guide me when it comes to different aspects of the business, even just scaling and growing. I lean a lot on my former colleagues where I used to work as well, because those are banking experts, they know what to do. So I really try to lean on different people.
How did the name Beauty on Tap come about?
When I tell you that it popped up in my head, it literally just popped up in my head. We had a name for it at the beginning, but it was very trendy, and I was like, oh, this isn't going to work in 10 years' time, And I was literally just doing something, and it popped up in my head, and I was like, oh, Beauty on Tap. And I mean, the TAPP is TApp as in an application, and it just means beauty at your fingertips, beauty as fast as you can get it, beauty that you can find efficiently. And so that's how the name came up, and it leans more towards the tech side of our business as well, because we started off as an online business first and then came into physical retail. I think the most expensive thing in terms of building a beauty marketplace is that you have to buy stock. So that's the most expensive part of it. But I think the most difficult thing with online is getting your brand out there, because online it's not like people walk past and they see your store and gain interest. You have to really market it. You have to get your brand out there. You also have to build trust with online users, because people are still very scared of online shopping, and their details, they don't know if you're going to deliver or not. And so it's been a journey. It's been a 7-year journey building the online platform, and during COVID, when everyone turned to online shopping to get their self-care goods and personal care, that's when the business really took off. But we really capitalized on being trustworthy and efficient. So that's how we were able to grow our online store so well, so big, and so fast, and keep those customers as well since COVID.
And a lot of women, I know, struggle with funding for their business. So how did you get all the funding to start this business?
So when I started Beauty on Tap, it was a side hustle. I was still very much fully employed up until last year around this time. I've actually been full-time in Beauty on Tap only for a year. But I basically bootstrapped the business. I funded the business through my salary, through the bonuses I used to get. It's only now that we had to open a store that we needed to get funding. But the whole time it's just been me putting my salary into the business, but also just been very prudent with the company's funds, because we sell stock that moves daily. There's a lot of working capital management that you have to deploy in the business, and so making care that I manage finances properly in the business has also helped with just steadying the business and making sure we always have funds available.
Your online business is booming, and you decide to move into retail. What led to this decision? At what stage did you find that now this is the right time for me to open my own store?
So, I always look at different ways to scale the business and expand. And, we've done different things. Like we've launched our own brand. We get more brands listed on the platform online. But I just felt like there was something that we were missing that would scale the business quite a lot. And, I've been looking at in-store retailing for a while, and I've been a bit scared. As a CA, we don't like risk. So I've been very scared and kind of like tiptoeing around it. And last year, finally, I got the courage to start looking for stores and looking at, popular malls where we would be best suited, where our customer base is. And Mall of Africa kind of came out as the most obvious choice for us, but it was just an expansion strategy. But also our community has been asking for a walk-in store, for quite some time, just because they want to experience the products in person. They want to be able to feel them. They want to consult with estheticians in store to understand their skin type, to understand what they want to, what they should be using, and also just to be more accessible and to get products immediately. Online obviously has a bit of a delay, whether it's 24 hours or 48 hours. So there was a call for it, and I think we were able to answer it with the right store in the right place.
At what point did you also decide to start your own products?
So there was one thing about Beauty on Tap is that we listen to our community, our customer base quite a lot, and there was this growing call for people asking us, can I use the serum on my armpits? Can I use it on my knees? Just because it works so well on their face, and people were just saying, why is it that we can't get body care that has the same ingredients as our face care? And we looked to the market for something that does that, and there wasn't really a lot of options. And so that's how we launched Pastry Skincare, is that it's just a body care range that has the same ingredients that you find in face products like your niacinamide, your salicylic acid, hyaluronic acid, we've now put into body care. So if you have body care concerns like body acne or blemishes on your body, that's the kind of skincare that we then formulated and packaged, and that we now retail here, but it's also out in other stores as well.
So are all the products manufactured here in South Africa, or where do you manufacture the products?
So our product specifically is fully South African, from packaging to labeling, everything. We're trying to keep it as local as possible. So it's 100% South African. I'm the only owner of the business right now. My co-founder left me a year into the business. But in terms of employment, it's probably 90% female employees. And that's just because the business, our customer base is highly female, and I kind of feel like you need to mirror your customer base to make sure that internally you understand the market that you're speaking to. And so we are more heavily weighted towards female, and it's just because it's a better understanding of our market as well.
Can you please share in more details the type of products that Pastry has? I mean, which products do you guys have, and what does each cater for?
So for Pastry, we have a body wash that has salicylic acid in it. So salicylic acid helps with body acne. It also helps with hyperpigmentation. And it has 3 different scents. It also calms your skin on your body if you have inflammation. And then we have niacinamide body care range. So that helps with hyperpigmentation on your body. It helps reduce stretch mark appearance. So we have a body lotion for that and a body butter. And then we have a hyaluronic acid body lotion, which is for extremely dry skin. So hyaluronic acid helps attract hydration to your skin. And then we have a hyaluronic acid hand cream. We have a Bakuchiol body lotion, which is for anti-aging and firming skin. So that's a nighttime body lotion. And then we've also gone into face care. We have a BHA gel, which is a acne gel for the face and body as well. We have a pigmentation correction serum. We have a vitamin C brightening serum and a barrier repair serum, which is for dry and sensitive skin as well as anti-aging. And we continue to expand the Pastry range. There's a lot more body care coming out this year as well. And one thing about Pastry that we think that we did right was that we formulated for the South African climate, and so the butters are very heavy. They won't make you ashy, but they're light enough for you to use in summer as well.
Now the brand is set for growth in the physical retail space. The store has been designed with the modern consumer in mind, offering them a premium shopping experience.
I'm not a tech person, so I don't know how to build, I don't know how to code, and so you're always depending on somebody else to kind of build this vision that you have. I think another concern with online is that, because people are constantly on their phones, they're experiencing digital differently on different platforms. And so with online, if you don't get your user experience right, like people are going to log off it takes, I think they said it takes 10 seconds for somebody to see whether they're going to continue shopping on a website or not. And so I think the challenge for me was kind of like starting to learn the tech side of the business, understanding how the tech side works, understanding user experience. And I think that has kind of like, we found the right person now who helps us with our online, and that's kind of, much better now. And then with retail, walk-in retail, I think it's only been 3 weeks. I think the biggest challenge for now that we're kind of learning is stock management and stock management systems. So that's like a real thing. We're still trying to like forecast how much stock we should hold for each item, because I'm very pedantic about people walking in and not finding what they want, because people leave their homes to come here. It's not the same as online. If you log on and it's not in stock, you just log off. Whereas here, people, take their time out to come here. So getting that right is a priority for me right now, in terms of just making sure we have the right stock amounts in store, and also just getting the brands that people want in store, because people also walk in and say, please, can you stock certain brands? So we're working on that as well.
Let's talk about the power of social media and how did that help market your business?
So we've literally just been social media. We've built our entire community on social media. And, our strategy has just been talk to your besties. We call our community our besties. Understand your besties, educate your besties, be accessible to them as well. I think because we started off as an online business, that really helped with building our social media, because obviously online and digital are very linked together, online shopping and social media. But more than that, to be transparent and accessible and trustworthy, you have to build an online presence to make sure that people trust your business as well. And so building our online presence was really important. And I mean, we have built our presence across all digital platforms. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn. And it's also just a way for your customers to access you, ask you questions. And so we've really focused on educating people about products and ingredients, more than just showcasing this product is pretty and it works. It's been more about what ingredients are in this product. And, people have, always say that they've learned so much just from following us about their skin and what products to buy.
Do you cater for a specific skin, or are all skin types welcome?
All skin types are welcome. So, whether you want hydration from K-Beauty, Korean skincare brands, or you want something to clear your dark marks, we have everything. We have different brands from different places. We have American brands, Korean skincare brands, local skincare brands, and so we cater for different skin types.
You've also been awarded a few accolades. I mean, what do those mean to you?
I think it's kind of like a stamp of approval that you're doing good, like carry on. And I think it also just inspires you to just keep going. I think the Forbes one that we got a while ago, it said that it said Beauty on Tap was a business of the future, and that was, I think, in 2018. And I always say, oh my word, it's like they knew, they knew something we were doing was, right. And so I don't hold on to the accolades as much. It's not something that I think of every single day, but it's just like a stamp of approval to say you're doing good, kid, carry on.
And let's talk about women empowerment, which you mentioned earlier on the interview. Mm-hmm. What sort of empowering do you give to women that work for you?
So the one thing that I always ask in interviews and when somebody starts with a business is I say, what is it that you want to achieve in your career? Like in 40 years' time, when you're driving to work, where are you going? Are you on the top floor of a big business? What are you doing? And I try and direct and then grow their careers in that regard. For me, it's really important for people not to just show up at work because there's a paycheck at the end of the month, but I'm really passionate about growing your career and growing yourself as a person. And the bank that I worked at was very serious about growing people, and so I think I've instilled the same kind of culture into Beauty on Tap as well. And so we do performance reviews every twice a year, June and December. We do performance reviews. We look at goals and how well you're tracking on your goals, and so I take employee growth across the board, whether it's male or female, very seriously. So I don't want people to just come to work to get a paycheck. You need to grow yourself as well.
And what's next in the future for Beauty on Tap? I mean, what plans do you have for your business?
So the one thing that obviously I want to do is grow the footprint, so the retail footprint, but we won't have 300 stores. It'll be very niche still, so we'll have a few stores in Gauteng and maybe 2 in Cape Town and 1 in KZN. And then it's also just, adding more brands to the store and the online platform, growing pastry. But I'm also really keen on incubating more brands, startup brands, teaching them about packaging, giving them distribution platforms. And so an incubation program is something I definitely want to start this year to get more small niche brands into the market.
Is everything that you have now in store how you had initially imagined it?
No. There's some brands where I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe we sell this brand now. And so it's just such a shock, especially when brands come to us and say, we want to be in your store. Like we have one that's coming online, I think in the next 2 weeks, and they reached out and said, you guys are really doing something. So every day I just look at Beauty on Tap and I'm like, I can't believe this is my store. I never ever thought that I'd be somebody who owns a beauty store. And so it's a dream come true, and it's just growing, the brand now and making sure that we become international even.